in case you don't know who we are, this is Dino Pasqualacca. I'm Tasso Kyriakis. And first of all, we're very thankful that all of you stayed, and hopefully you're excited to stay for what's going to occur this afternoon after the Forgiveness Vespers. So we have a few reasons why we're here, but before I let you talk louder, that's the first time that ever happened. So we have a few reasons for being up here. Foremost is a waste of time for Father, but before Dino sort of gives you the schedule of things, if you've been attending church regularly and if you're a parish council, you have heard from Father Joseph that we are in a phase of time now where we're finding new founders of the church. And Dino and I have in common that we are children of this church. We were born here, we were raised here, we lived our adult life here, we've been active in the church. We had parents that were very instrumental in this church, and we want to keep their dreams alive and follow them. The other thing is that we've both been at some time a president of the community, current president of the community, and I think we're excited, both of us are excited about what's going on, because when we talked yesterday, we talked about, just think, if we can do what the founders of this church did from 111 Cypress Street to what we see today, how dynamic of a village would we have built for St. Demetrius? And I think the other thing that we both know is that, why don't you take over?
You're doing good, Tom.
Tell me a little bit about this.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for being here, of course. As Tasso was saying, we're blessed that we were born and raised here and seeing our campus over here grow and grow. We were very fortunate enough to get some lovely gifts from the Forrest family, which is the properties to the north of us, south of us. So our vision is to try to make something real special with it, just like our founding fathers did for us. We started off real little and we're growing. We're taking over. We're becoming the older people in the new generation, and we have a lot of young people in church today, and we are doing well. So we're trying to figure out a new vision for what we can do with the properties next door, and we would like to hear everybody's input and their ideas of what could happen next door. We don't know what's going to happen next door yet. We've had talks between us and a few other people, and we've gotten some pretty good ideas. But we want our whole community, because it's going to be a community event. It's going to be for the community, our campus, for our young kids to grow up, and hopefully 50 years from now, the younger kids that are in here right now say, hey, I remember those two old guys talking, and they did this for us. Let's see what we can do for them and our younger kids. So after we finish this, okay?
So, first of all, thank you to the Sunday school teachers for giving up your lesson plan today and leaving the kids up here, because really, I want them to be excited, because Dino and I experienced something when we grew up. We walked in the footsteps, we walked alongside, we hugged the founders of this church. There's not many of you here today that can say, I was here and I knew Theodore Kuipers, or I knew George Wheelis, or I knew Jim Forrest. We can.
Yes. While they couldn't be scared of them.
So we experienced that. And I wanted these children to be here today for that reason. So today, here's how it's going to go. Father, we're wasting time for Father, number one, to consume gifts. He's going to change. He's going to come out with a new Vespers. At the conclusion of the Vespers, he will distribute the Arndido. And then as you're released with the Arndido, if you'll go to the back narthex, Denise has a group of volunteers. And they will, in small groups, escort you down to the front of the Angie's house, what we call it, the Forest Hall. Escort you down there, where we will do a blessing of the waters and bless the property. At that time, we'll have coffee hour. Denise and her detailed conversations, as always has planned and put together. That there will be tour guides to take you through both homes or two properties. What they call, I learned yesterday, they call the greenhouse, and then they call Angie's house. After that, find a board member, find someone, express your opinions, your ideas. We heard, just while cleaning yesterday, we heard great ideas, small weddings to be there, be a centerpiece of the community, There's so many things that are on the table right now, and we want to do a good job of planning that. Now, the one thing I think is just a blessing. In 1973, I stood at the steps of those doors with Archbishop Iakovos and saw in person the leaders of this community bid the nom, the client, the godfather of this church. Today, I'm proud to tell you that I'm standing next to the son of the godfather of the church, Bosco Pasquale's son. Not only that, he's the president. It's a beautiful time for us to grow. Dino, tell me how you feel about being the godfather's son and carrying this on for him.
Well, it's been a long journey, I can say this. I was an altar boy in the White House when we used to have Batista's house. I got to experience that. When we wanted to build this church, we had to build the community hall first, where we actually had church services in the community center until we built the church. I happened to be an altar boy in the community center. And then as I got older, the church was built, and I was able to be an altar boy in this facility. For me, it means a whole lot. I grew up here. Coming here has been great. It's helpful, and it's a good thing. And now I'm lucky to where president, and my father probably would say he's proud of me, but he taught me. I used to always ask him, Dad, why do you do so much for the church? Because I was little, didn't really understand it. And he would say, I'm doing it for the church because I love the church. He goes, when you get older, you'll understand. And for a while, I slowed down coming to church. And then, with the help of Mr. George Karamidas and Kiriako, they said, Dino, start coming back to church again. I started coming back to church. And then I would leave church, and I always felt good leaving here. It helped me get through the day and the issues I have in front of me. So I come to church, I leave here, I'm always in a good mood. So I want to express that to everybody. Tell your neighbors that don't come anymore. Come to church. You'll feel good when you leave here. And then hopefully, down the road, all our little kids are going to be feeling the same way.
And you know the message I have, the reason it's so important to have the kids here. Dino talks about being in the white church. I came from the white church, 111 Cypress Street. It was where we had some great memories. And we came to this church, and as a 9-year-old, my best friend, and all the boys that were with me, we would go after church, and we would go search for Batista's treasure in the basement of the church. Because we heard this rumor, right? So when we go over this property, there may be a treasure there other than just the gift we received. So for the young kids, enjoy this, make it part of your life. I remember in the old church on 111, falling asleep in the chanter stand on Holy Thursday night. My mom just left me there. She went home, she left me there, she said I'd be okay, right? Father's ready, so I'm going to tell you one last part of the invitation today, and that's this. When Father John Athos had Sunday school or preschool with us, I always had trouble with a few words. And last time I was telling Father the story, I thought I was good until he started talking. And then I realized I'm in trouble again. So I had trouble when we have to say skilo, dog, and xilo, word. And I was a bit confused when I come home and doing something wrong, and my mom would say, xilo. And I would say, I'm going to eat wood. I found out that meant I was going to get a whooping. So that was my first 2 words I had trouble with. Now the other one was horo, dance, and horio, my village. So today, I'm going to invite you to join the horo to make a new horia here that's for St. Demetrius in this vision that will help those cats. God bless all of you from Dino and I. You did a great job.
Well, thank you, Pastor. I had some good help.
Drinks in the back.
Everyone should have a copy